this. Okay, so this was this is from your test 2 Sundays ago. Okay, so I think you have really good twist, which you can clearly see in this video. Just a couple things that I would work on for your right side here, and I think we'll get to your left side video. I know that the left side was not at the right on the right side, but all right. So, if we take a look at your catch right now, so I think the mechanics of your pull is pretty solid. It's just the front end, the catch that I think could use a little bit of refinement. Okay. So I know the left side is a little bit choppier. We have lower frame rate here. So let's freeze it right before your paddle starts going down. Oh, it's hard to find the spot. Okay, that's pretty close. Okay, I think I'm gonna pick that same point about here. Okay, so I usually draw a line connecting your ear to your hip. So what we're looking for when you're going into your catch, and I kind of talked about this at practice this weekend, is making sure that when we're in our toast position, we're not so far out that like when we're going into the catch, we don't have anything left to give. So if you look at your catch right now, right? So you have really good twist. That's really good twist there. Your top elbow might be going just a hair high because I would like to keep it at your ear level or below. Okay. So that your arm is a little bit more straight out, almost straight out in front of you, and no higher, like not high like this, right? Okay. You'll see it a little bit better with your left video. Okay. But like just if we connect the dots right from this point of view, your elbows maybe just above your ear. Okay. I would want to keep it a little bit lower. Okay. Lower arm, try to keep it a little bit more straight. Okay. These are all just fine details, but the biggest thing I want you to think about right now is how much lean you're giving me in your toast. Okay. I want you to actually bring it back just a little bit. Okay. And the reason why is when you go into your catch, I want you to be able to apply some of that weight of your leaning forward onto the catch. So basically what I'm saying is right now, if this is your toast, this is as far forward as you're going to go with your arms, right? Okay. And your twist and your lean. When you go onto the catch, I want to be able to see like this right side, right? See how my ear is moving past the line, and I'm gonna help assist my catch with some of that weight leaning forward onto it, right? Mm. So if you look carefully on this side, when you're going into the catch,
very little,
quite a bit less. Yeah. So it's not that you didn't at all, because there's a little bit, but you could have done a bit more. And if we look at angle comparisons, right? So let me draw a line of when I'm like fully into it. So when I'm fully in, I'm about here. So I think I've done this.
I saw your video with was it Sala? I think the one you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that helped me a lot to see with.
So something angles. Like this too. So like, I think even here for you, your recovery, you don't quite sit up all the way. Yeah. Right.
Come back, huh? All the way, yeah.
So straight up would be something like this, right? Okay. And we want to see your ear get all the way up to that point. Okay. With the pull.
So not hang out here, but come back here. Yeah.
Yeah, at least for a long stroke. If we're in our starts, then you need to stay forward. But then when we get into the rhythm of the body, you got to use your whole body to help pull it back. Okay. Pull your point Well, yeah. So you're pulling, like technically on the water, you're pulling your hip up to that point, and naturally when you get to that point, you should be sitting up all the way.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So in terms of, if we look at these two lines, so I think I did this with Sala as well. So let me keep that there. So if we look at angles, right? Oh, I have to use. Stop right there. So somewhere around like this. And if you look at my angle, there we go. So this is, they're both around 30 degrees, right? But basically you're already at that point on your toast. Whereas I'm probably about 10 degrees less right here. So this is about 20. Yeah. So I think, I mean, I'm giving people a rough idea of these numbers just so they have something to think about. It doesn't have to be exact for everyone, but generally like people probably feel the extent of their lean at around 30 degrees. 40 degrees are for people who are really flexible, but even when you get to about 40 degrees, now you're starting to lean more down than forward. So if you want to think about leaning,
this, right?
So you want, like all of this motion of leaning forward is probably at most going to be around that 30 degrees zone. Okay. And that final 10 degrees of that lean forward needs to coincide with when the blade is going in. Right? So the timing of when all of that happens needs to be on point so that you're paddling as efficiently as possible. Okay. So your toast, take it back about 10 degrees. Okay. So your arms are going to be set where you're having them set right now, but your body, your core is going to be back a little bit so that when you go into it,
I got that extra 10 degrees or so to go in.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And then obviously we already talked about this. You have really good twist and you're using that twist really well. It's just when you get right here, see how your body now just kind of stalls right there?
Yeah.
And you don't sit up.
I don't follow through.
So you're using a lot of your upper back muscles to try to force that paddle down with the top hand, but you're not sitting up with it.
Okay.
So you notice like when we get here, right, you want to see the body keep moving. Right?
Bring the body through with the motion.
Yeah, because you can see this line, right?
Yeah.
Your body does sit up, but look at where your paddle is. You're already done with the stroke, right?
Yeah.
And because you didn't sit up,
I'm
like a lot of well, you're doing a little bit actually too long.
Okay.
But all kind of your paddles at the wrong angles because you didn't sit up. So if I stayed where you are, right? When you're so that indicates that you have really strong upper back, but you really want to think about making sure your paddle angles are correct, so you can use those upper back muscles to help your boat move forward. Okay. On the erg, it's going to help you get a good score. Yeah. Because and the reason why is because when you get right here, right? See how that rope here? Mm-hmm. This rope is going to be resisting you in this direction, right? Mm-hmm. It's directly in this line. So the strongest way to work against that rope is by pushing with your top hand that way, right? Mm-hmm. But in the water, that's not going to actually help your boat move.
Because it's going this way.
Yeah, so you're pushing really hard with the top hand, and maybe the numbers are better because you're doing that. Yeah. But you can still get better numbers by also doing your body correctly. Okay. And then what you do here will translate better to how you will perform on the water.
Okay.
So I think that's something that I'm starting to make sure that people think about a little bit more. I don't want people to just like get away from looking at numbers completely on the erg, because that's important to gauge your effort level. But the effort level needs to correspond to good technique so that whatever you're doing here is going to apply really well to the water.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I think we'll